Pasetyadi Satarine.
Namaste Saraswati Devi.
Prabhupada.
Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Pasetyadi Satarine.
Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Pasetyadi Satarine. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everybody! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ishvaram Sachidanandharupam Rasachuralam Gokule Brajamanam Yasodabiyolukala Davamanam Paramestamatyan Tatudutya Gopyam
Yasoda Biholo Kaladavamanam
Paramestamatyan Tatudutya Gopyam Udandamo Elnitra Gopam Dakkam Param Bodhayumena Satantanitram Udandamo Elnitra Gopam Dakkam Param Bodhayumena Satantanitram Sushuna Sampati Ekadadanta Where we worship Krishna in his very merciful Damodar form. So this was a portion from the Bhagavad Gita. You familiar with the Bhagavad Gita? You are not familiar, but he's familiar. Okay. The introduction, Srila Prabhupada very nicely summarizes all the topics in a convenient form. So if you read this introduction, you can have a very good idea of what this very thick book is all about. Bhagavad Gita is a pure nectar because it's the very unique book. This is the only book where God explains about his nature. There are many books about God, just like the Holy Bible and the Quran and so on and so on. But here, we don't have to speculate. We don't have to get a second-hand opinion about God. Here, God himself, Sri Krishna, explains about himself. Just like you can know me personally, you can ask a friend of my friend of my friend of my friend of my friends, who is this guy, Purujit? And he can give you some information. But if you approach me directly, and if we hang out together, if we associate, if we share together, we reveal our mind together, and so on and so on, then you have a direct information, right? If you ask a friend of my friend of my friend, then the information might be a little distorted, right? Especially because we have 4 defects. As conditioned souls, we have 4 defects of perception. We commit mistakes, we have illusions, we have imperfect senses, we have a tendency to cheat, and so on and so on. So in this way, the message of the Bhagavad Gita becomes from time to time distorted. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago. The mundane historians, the archaeologists, and the evolutionists, and so on and so on, they will challenge this. They will say, no, this is not true. But actually, we don't care for these nonsense people. We are accepting the information from the disciplic succession parampara. This tradition, Vedic tradition, is eternal. It is eternal, and it is a living tradition. See, Srila Prabhupada, he cracks a nice joke. He says that this archaeology, digging the ground and taking the bones, this is a dog's business. This is a dog's business. And the dogs also, digging in the ground for bones. So we're not dogs. We take the information from the people who live there directly. See, they have left behind this a wonderful knowledge, the Vedas, locked in a Sanskrit language until our Srila Prabhupada and previously to him also the other tribes, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They presented this a great boon to human society in English language for the first time. So, if I can read directly from the people who lived at that time, why should I study their bones? Why should I be concerned with the bones? See, we're so much ignorant. We think that I am this body. I am the body. A man, woman, ugly, beautiful, tall, small, black, white. This is who I am. But I am not the body. I am the soul. You see, this is the fundamental understanding of spiritual life. If you're biased, if you think, oh, this is Hindu, Bhagavad Gita is Hinduism. No. Lord Jesus Christ also, he says like that. Prophet Muhammad, they also say like that. Lord Buddha also says like that. None of these great teachers, none of these great acharyas say that, yes, you are the body only, enjoy your senses, and make this world a beautiful place. See? So we have no conflict with any religion. Now, don't think that Krishna consciousness is sectarian, that Krishna is a sectarian religion, and then Jesus is another religion, and so on, they fight with one another. No! The message is one. You are the spirit soul. You are not the body. This designation, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, this is related to the body. If you're born in a Christian family, then you call yourself a Christian. If you're born in India, you call yourself a Hindu. But it has nothing to do with your soul. Your soul is transcendental, Sat Chitananda. So this is the science, yoga, evam parampara praptam, evam parampara praptam, imam rajasa vidu, sikkalaneha yogata, yoganastra parantapa. Krishna says that this science of yoga, and Srila Prabhupada, he translates the word yoga as the science of one's relationship with Krishna, with God, is the science of the soul. It has nothing to do with the body. Nothing to do with the body. So the archaeologists, they can't help it. There's so much attached to the body that even the body is dead, they still want to analyze the bones. This is sick, diseased mind. Why should I be concerned with the body? I want to know you. If I want to know you, I'm going to hear what you say. I'm going to hear what you say. Because I want to serve you, right? If I love you, if I want to have loving relationships. If I say I love you, but I never serve you, that is fake. That is going on in the name of love. People are being cheated, right? So we don't cheat that I love God, and at the same time I kill the innocent animals in slaughterhouses. Millions and millions are being killed as we're speaking. Not that kind of love of Godhead. The love of Godhead means that if God is the Supreme Father, then I love all His children without any discrimination. The father's son might be a little bit less intelligent, my brother might be less intelligent. But if I say, Father, can I kill my brother and eat him? Father will not be very happy. So similarly, Krishna, he's not very happy if you say, I love you, God, you're the greatest, and simultaneously you're killing his children, the poor animals. See, we have to eat, yes. That is a necessity for the body. We're not saying that now you stop all the pleasures of the body. Quite the opposite. You take prasadam as much as you want. You forget all this meat-eating nonsense. But why should you, if you have so much supply of grains, fruits, milk, and so on, why should you unnecessarily kill the mother cow? See, mother cow. Why we say mother cow? Because she gives you milk. If you're sucking the milk of your mom from the breast when you're a little baby, and then you grow up, and now, okay, I don't need the milk, now I'm going to kill the mother and eat her. Is that very nice? It's horrible. But this is what is going on. You're killing the mother cow. See, such an innocent animal, such a nice animal. Have you seen the cow before? Yeah, I've seen also. Just recently, not in Montreal downtown. I go to a village, to a secluded place, to have a darshan of a cow. Such a nice, peaceful animals. Almost like you feel just like a spiritual effulgence almost. So nice. So how people can chop, with an axe and all these. This is a horrible thing. This is going on. See, people are very much agitated when we say that Krishna told Arjuna to kill his family. They freak out. They say, "Oh my God, this is fanaticism." See, their God is telling him to kill his own family. But why are you not concerned with the family of the cow? She also has a family, mother, father, and so on, the children. Why are you not horrified? Why are you not horrified? You paying your taxes. See, your taxes you pay, that supports the animal slaughter. Did you know that? The taxes you pay. It goes to the government, and the government, they actually support the meat industry. The meat, I was reading this,
really?
this High Taste book. You know that book, High Taste?
Yeah, but
It's a very nice book, actually.
I don't remember that part. That's
Yes, there was a research that was done that the meat industry, they're very dirty. They don't follow any sort of regulation. The animals, when they slaughtered, they pass stool, right, out of fear. It's like, if someone comes here, we would probably also pass stool if you came with an axe, out of fear. So naturally, and this goes into the meat. Imagine. And then the inspector, he comes and he inspects, and the state of affairs is so horrible that the inspector, he concluded, he said that if I was to set the sanctions, then the meat industry, all of them, they would be bankrupt, because none of them actually are able to follow these standards of basic cleanliness. So it is all corrupted, and the government, because so many problems coming out of this meat industry, they need to support it. They need to inject some money into it. So where's the money coming from? From your taxes. You see. So why not be concerned? Why be a hypocrite? Why find unnecessary flaw with Krishna, who told Arjuna to kill on religious principles, not whimsically? Then I have a feeling, right? We have to be a little careful with a feeling. You were saying that it's all about a feeling, but we should also be careful, because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati very nicely, he says, we need both. We definitely need feeling. Krishna is about feeling. But at the same time, it is not fanaticism. There is also philosophy. There's knowledge. Whatever you see here, when we're bowing down, when we're offering the lights, when we chant Hare Krishna, ecstasy, like that, you can come and you ask a question. We can everything explain scientifically on the basis of the Vedic knowledge, on the basis of logic and arguments, not in a dogmatic way that, we do this, and if you don't do it, you're going to go to hell. If you don't chant Hare Krishna, you're going to go to hell. No. If you want, you can chant Hare Krishna. Actually, this Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. It's a natural feeling. It's a natural attachment. Srila Rupa Goswami, he says that this is just like the feelings of a young girl and young boy. There's no need to teach them how to have sex life. You take young boy and young girl and you say, sex life, you have to put your hand like that, you have to kiss him like this, like that. Not this angle, you have to do like this. It becomes very funny. It becomes a very funny thing. It's natural, right? The loving propensity is natural. But see, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, they will die. My husband, my wife, they will die. My children, everyone will die, including myself. I will die. So that loving propensity is interrupted, right? It is not eternal. It is, during the wedding they say, until the death does us apart, right? So it is a finishing point. So that is not real love. Real love lasts forever. You see, and that you can only have with Krishna. So coming back to the portion we were reading, Srila Prabhupada wrote a very nice book. That was his first book he wrote. It's called Easy Journey to Other Planets. He wrote it in 1960. And he predicted that this moon landing, they're going with a spaceship, Prabhupada calls it the Sputnik, will be a failure. And later on, Srila Prabhupada actually, he explained that this is all a big conspiracy. It's a hoax. They actually never landed on the moon. They have, again, collected the tax money, and they have give you a movie. Now you have a movie, and here's some rocks. You know? These rocks actually you can find on the Earth planets. Another set of scientists, they have stated this. They made a study of these moon rocks, and they said, well, you can find rocks like this anywhere, you know, on this, not anywhere, but somewhere, you know, you can find the same type of rocks. And yeah, they shot a movie, you know, when they, you know, landing, and you know, the camera. I saw one of the arguments against this is that when the spaceship is leaving the moon planets, the camera goes like this, is following, you know, the camera, the spaceship is following in a perfect angle, you know. So there must be being filmed by a person. You know, you can't have in 1969. You can't have a robot, you know, being controlled from the Earth, you know, so many miles. Of course, we know from the Vedas that the moon is actually further than the sun, but according to their modern version, the moon is how many miles? 40,000 miles from something like that. So 40,000 miles, you know, on the a base on the Earth with your joystick, you know, you are controlling a tiny little camera, and you have a perfect, they call it in a cinematography, a pan. You know, when the camera is following a certain object, it's called panning. So you have a perfect pan on the spaceship, right? How is this possible? Such cheating, you know. So Prabhupada, he explains on the basis of the Vedas that no, by mechanical arrangement you cannot go, because your body is not suitable for that kind of atmosphere. Just like if you go to water, if I put you in the water for 1 year to live there, you're going to die. Your body is not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. You have to take a body of a fish. You know, if you eat a lot of fish, you know, that is quite possible. You can get a nice fish body, so you can have nice life in the sea. So similarly, all these different planets, the moon, the sun, Saturn, they all inhabit it. They're all living entities there. Just like we have a civilization here, a president, Trump or Clinton or whoever. There is a president of the sun planets, of the moon planets. This might sound strange or crazy, but can you prove that it is not so? Can you prove where you yourself on the sun planet? Have you seen what is going on there? You're simply believing these movies they play you know, NASA or whatever, FASA. Simply believing. Just like, you know, in the Middle Ages, the priests and the religionists, they'd say, you know, according to the Bible, the earth is flat. Or I'm not sure if according to the Bible, but this was the theory, the earth is flat. And people believed, you know, the earth is flat. If I go, you know, a little bit further, I might fall down into space. You know, so maybe they were afraid to travel, I don't know. So you cannot deny. You cannot deny the Vedas. This is our challenge. That you say that this is a belief, a religion, and you know it's crazy. You know, but you believing the scientists who are changing their theories every single moment, every year, right? If they're landing on the moon, then why are they going to the Mars? Why the moon flights are no longer going on? Why they've stopped? They should have stayed there, made a base, made a civilization there on the moon planets. But they came down. That means it was a waste of money. And, you know, so much money. People are starving, you know, even Canada now, you know, it's decreasing. The opulence is decreasing, United States and so on. So how long can you enjoy and simply waste money on the expense of the other countries? There will be also a finishing point where everything, all the wealth will be exhausted, and you will become beggars. You will starve. This is coming. So much money is wasted for this nonsense flights. If we're following the Vedic literatures, Prabhupada says it is easy. If you're so much obsessed going to the moon or the sun, there's an easier method. You worship that particular president of that planet, Vivashwan or so many other presidents of these different planets. If you worship them, then after your body is finished, you go there. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajatyanti kalivanam tam tam ivaiti kunteya sadat bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being your mind is absorbed in at the time of death, that state of being you will attain in your next life. This is possible. The Vedas, they describe you can travel to space, to different planets through the process of yoga. But every single planet in the material world has these four imperfections, and that is that it's conditioned by birth, death, old age, and disease. So at the same time, the Vedas and the spiritual masters and Krishna, he says, don't waste time. Don't go to this planet or that planet. Go to the highest. Goloka Vrindavan, to the spiritual world where Krishna lives. From that planet, there is no coming back to this earth. And you can live there eternally with Krishna and enjoy in his company. We were watching yesterday a movie, the Hare Krishna people. You seen the Hare Krishna people?
They show Vrindavan also a little bit in there, I think. It's all about the movement.
Yeah, it's all about the movement. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
This commentator, he made a nice point. The Gurukulis, they were swinging Krishna and Radharani on a swing. And the commentator, the narration was that in this way, the children, the Krishna children, they learn that God is not a vicious, evil personality who's simply, looking, whenever you have a good time, that eye in a triangle is there. What are you doing there? Stop all pleasure. You simply renounce, deny all pleasure, and you suffer and you persecute yourself and suffer. No, this is not God. That aspect is also there. Yes, God also is punishing, but this is not what makes him, pleasure. That is not pleasurable for Krishna to punish or put us into some difficulty and so on. But he has to adjust the situation. You actually pray for this. You prayed, I want to enjoy unlimitedly sense gratification at the expense of other living entities. You see, any enjoyment, people say, after all, it is pleasure. What is the wrong there? We have sex life, and then, when there's a child, we abort the child. So what's the problem? It's not living, it's just a lump of matter. This is not so. Actually, the baby is living. Similarly, the animals, they're also living. And if we're not careful, then, because our sinful karma, we'll also have to suffer for these sinful activities. So it is not a dogma that we say that don't commit sinful activities, don't do this. It is very scientific. It is for your benefit. And it's also for the benefit of everyone else. You see? Everyone else will also be happy. If you're happy, you feel great pleasure, but the others, they suffer very much. That is not happiness. That is selfishness. The real happiness is just like we're doing here now. We're chanting Hare Krishna. And we give you prasadam. We feed you with lots of nice prasadam, Krishna food. Everyone can come. We don't charge anything. See, this is happiness. Happiness means that you want to share it with others. It expands. Right? This is the real nature of happiness. It always expands unlimitedly. Right? So if you're happy, and I come to you and I say, stop this, stop your happiness. Will you be happy? No, that is suffering. But this is the nature of material happiness. That it has a saturation point, it's a finishing point. And because it is a finishing point, it actually is not happiness, it is suffering. You see? So we want eternal pleasure, and that is possible with Krishna consciousness. So it is very simple. how you can be Krishna conscious, you simply chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is so easy. Even if you are not able to give up simple life, we don't judge. We don't make any guilt trip or anything like that. Lord Chaitanya, this particular form of Krishna, why he has landed here in this place? Because Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful. He's the most merciful. He doesn't care. When you speak of Krishna, like you see there on the big picture, this is Krishna. This is the original form of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is also original, but that is another topic. Krishna is very difficult to approach. You have to be very surrendered, very pure, especially if you worship the deities, Radha and Krishna. It's a very difficult procedure. You have to take a shower 1,000,000 times and do this Gayatri and this and so many things. You have to know the mantras. And if you make an offense, then Krishna can punish you. You get some heavy reaction for offenses to the deity and so on. It's actually a very serious thing. Krishna as a person is not a stone or a picture. He is a person with feelings. So he has nice feelings. He also has some feelings, of agitation. He can also get transcendently agitated if you offend him. But Lord Chaitanya, he is not offended. Even if you're not able to follow all the principles. Let's say you have some bad habits. He doesn't take any consideration. He says, whoever you are, even if you eat dogs, you take this Mahamantra and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And by this chanting, if you simply open up your mind to this chanting, it's so nice. You become purified automatically. You don't have to be afraid. All these simple activities, automatically they will go. You won't even know how. All of a sudden you realize, just like myself, I was also a simple person. I was committing all sorts of nonsense, simple activities. And when I hear it for the first time, just like maybe you also hear for the first time, that these are simple activities, this is not good, this is what it's not supposed to be done. And it might be a little difficult to accept. So when I heard for the first time when Srila Prabhupada said that, you should not do this and so on and so on, I was thinking, impossible. I will never be able to follow. It's so difficult. I love simple activities so much, I cannot give them up for Krishna. But somehow or other, now I'm here, I'm speaking to you, I'm telling you that this, you don't do this. And I'm able to refrain, at least for the time being, hopefully, I'm able to refrain from these simple activities. It is not so difficult. It is easy. If you take this chanting seriously, if you come here, you simply chant Hare Krishna, and take this prasadam. Take as much as you want. Take for home. This is our philosophy. We don't say you give up. We say you take up. You take up. We don't worry what you do in your private life. We don't analyze. But we simply want to give you. You take this Mahamantra, you take this prasadam. And if you take it, if you don't reject it, if we invite you, please come for the Lakis. There's a nice festival. Govardhan Puja, come. We're going to make a big hill out of sweets. Don't reject this invitation. Don't be foolish. Take it up. There's no charge. Simply, we're giving you. And it's up to you. Whatever you want to take from this Krishna consciousness, it's just like a nice storehouse with diamonds. You can take whatever you like. If you feel this is too much, give up illicit sex life. Who can do this in this age of Kali? Give up meat eating, This is very difficult. McDonald's, we're accustomed. Intoxication, right? Cigarettes, tea, alcohol, coffee, all intoxicants, even chocolates. We don't take even chocolate. So if you think, this is too much, never mind. You let it go. Just don't get disturbed, don't get agitated over these points. Take up what you like. You like prasadam? Take prasadam. You like to see beautiful decorations on the altar? You come and see Krishna You become spiritualized. If you see this nice altar, you know, Ramachandra Prabhuji, you know, he took the time to decorate today nicely.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. You become purified automatically. Param drishta nivardate. If you acquire higher taste, if you taste something higher, then you give up the lower taste. You see? So this is the obstacle in the beginning all of us face in Krishna consciousness. There's so many rules, and these devotees, they follow this, and I do not follow this, and you might feel a little guilty. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Try to give up if it's possible. But if it's not possible, we're not going to put you down. Quite the opposite. Devotees are always trying to encourage. Always trying to encourage. Never try to disturb. Right? It is so rare that people come here. I'm so happy that today so many of you came. This is very pleasing. You know, we're trying so hard. Ramachandra, myself, now Michelle is also helping out. We're going out, we're chanting in metro. No one, you know, cares. Sometimes, you know, people spit. Sometimes people spit in your face. Yes, yes.
No,
I don't get it.
Way.
Yes.
Wow.
So we're trying, you know, trying, because Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, he has given us this wonderful Krishna consciousness. We feel obliged. Srila Prabhupada, he says, if you want to please me, then whatever I have given you, you give to others. You do that for me. See, he's not even physically present here nowadays. So how do we serve him? How can we serve the spiritual master in the first place? The spiritual master, he's with Krishna. He's already with Krishna. He's all the time Krishna conscious. That's why he can be a spiritual master. So he doesn't need a massage or Guru Puja or washing his feet or so on and so on. When that is done, that is for our benefit. So we'll learn humility. We'll learn how to worship a superior personality. But he himself, he's not hankering for these things. So how can we please the spiritual master? How can we please him? How can we serve the spiritual master? By spreading his message, by giving it to others. This is Krishna consciousness. You see? So we're trying, and no one is coming. No one wants this diamond, you know. Lord Jesus Christ, he says, don't throw pearls to swines. It is so. It is so. People cannot appreciate. Because of these sinful activities. Oh, what is this prasadam? I want my hamburger. This is my food. This is Indian. See, even in terms of eating, they're sectarian. Yes, I have encountered this many times. They say, no, this is Indian. This is Canadian. So it's Canadian food and this is Indian food. You see, food is food. If you're hungry, you're going to eat anything. You're going to eat your shoes when you're hungry. Right? You're not going to make any discrimination because you're puffed up. That's why you make this discrimination. You're very puffed up. You think your hamburger is guaranteed to you. It is not guaranteed. The more you enjoy now, at the expense of the poor animals, the more you have to suffer in your next life. This is what we're trying to explain to people. It is a serious thing, you know. So, trying to chant this Hare Krishna mantra, come here to the temple, you know, we give you prasada, we give you this philosophy. If you have any doubts, or if you want to debate, we're very much ready. We're not cowards. We're not cowards. Like all these big religionists, all these Christians and Muslims, or whatever. I don't want to, because there are also good Christians and good Muslims. But generally speaking, we encounter on the street, people say, I'm a Christian. Mm-hmm. And then you ask him, what is your favorite teaching of Lord Jesus Christ? What? He doesn't know anything about his spiritual master, Lord Jesus Christ. Simply using Jesus Christ to excuse his sinful activities. In Jesus Christ, he died for our sins. So now we can sin on and on and on and on. And when there's a problem, Jesus, can you please die on the cross? Because I've sinned so many times, you know, I need to relieve myself. Okay, oh, thanks a lot. Okay, yes, here's some little flower or something, whatever. We're going to build you a nice church. And we're going to make a statue of you outside so the pigeons can pass through on your head. You see? So, we're not cowards. We can very nicely debate. If you have any challenge, We don't hide at all. This is, you offended my religion, and oh no, we're gonna kick you out of the temple. No, we're ready. If you are approaching with sincerity, not to challenge, not to challenge. I'm a God. I'm a God. I'm perfect, and you have to prove to me that Krishna is superior. No, that you have to give up. You have to be a little sincere, a little realistic. You know, we're suffering. We're suffering here. This material pleasure has saturation. If you still don't understand that the material life is suffering, then you cannot understand anything about God. What to speak of yourself, the spiritual science, and so on and so on. You cannot understand. That preliminary qualification must be there. You must be inquisitive. Is there anything beyond this? Going to work, earning money, eating, sleeping, a little sex. Is there anything beyond this? Is there any higher reality? If you're not interested, if you're not inquisitive about any higher reality, then you're an animal. And Srila Prabhupada says that this knowledge of Krishna consciousness is meant for human being, not for the animal. The animals cannot hear submissively Bhagavad Gita, cannot inquire like that. So I think I went a little bit overboard. If there are any questions, we still would like to read Sri Brahma Samhita. During this month of Kartik, we read a little bit of Brahma Samhita from Bhaktisiddhanta. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and read a little portion from Brahma Samhita. Prasadam. Please, any questions? I kind of cut it. I don't know why. Yes.
Well, I had a question about. I know that one of the sinful activities is illicit sex.
Yes.
So sex should only be done in the purpose of children.
Yes.
But I also know that being gay is normal and it's okay, right? And in the Krishna consciousness. But you can't have babies. So where does it stand then?
Okay. This is a kind of a sensitive question, you know. I thought about this topic a lot, you know, because Montreal is, you know, there's many gay people here, and you know, it's kind of acknowledged that this is not anything taboo or like that. The gays are, you know, supported. I'm coming from a former communistic country where people are not so tolerant, you know, discrimination and so on and so on. First of all, let me ask you, how do you qualify a gay person who is a gay, homosexual, who is a homosexual?
Or someone who expresses love towards a man, just like a man expresses love towards a woman.
So what is love?
Well, it's, as you said, it's a love that expires.
Okay, so that is not real love.
But just like the love, the fake love between a man and a woman, there is a fake love between a man and a man.
Yes.
If we're talking.
Yes. So for this reason, we have this rule: no illicit sex. We're against the fake love. We're against the fake love.
But people get married.
Yes, that is also fake. That is also fake. See, the whole Vedic culture is based on this principle to get people off sex life. Because sex life is the root cause of our material entanglement. This is the root problem. And Srila Prabhupada actually explains, if you read the Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter, Krishna says, Arjuna is asking, what is that force which makes us do things even against our own will? And then Krishna says, it is lust only, the old sinful enemy of the world. And in the purport, in the commentary, Prabhupada reveals that this sex desire is actually originally the love of Krishna. But it acts pervertedly. This is the problem. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness is, not to ignore that sex desire, but purify it. You see? So there's also, we have to be a little careful because there's a group of devotees that are called Prakrita Shangyas, and they make the mistake of mixing the two. They think that the sex life and Krishna consciousness is the same thing, and that becomes very dangerous actually on the spiritual path. But just to make it simple, this sex desire we have to purify, and the whole process of Vedic culture and the development of spiritual consciousness is to ultimately give up sex life altogether. So everyone is advised to practice brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means complete celibacy. Just like myself and Ramachandra, we're considered to be brahmacharis. That's how we designate ourselves. So, we don't have a wife or a girlfriend or any of that sort. We try to abstain completely from sex life. So that is recommended. And Srila Prabhupada, as the revolutionary acharya, he even made the brahmacharinis, the celibate girls. This is unheard of in India. It's just like, forget it, In the Western countries, there's the equality, man and woman are equal. So Prabhupada had to adjust this because in India, the woman, she is married. There's no question of independence. She must be married. It's a rule. So Prabhupada introduced, seeing that the girls and boys are equal, the girls would rebel. Well, he can be a brahmachari and I cannot be. This is discrimination. So Prabhupada made that special allowance that even girls, they can join a temple and practice celibacy. Of course, from experience we know that this is not a very good idea for a girl. She can do it for some time, but generally, ultimately, she will naturally desire to have a husband. It's more natural. There are exceptions. We're not denying the exceptions, but generally, we try to encourage girls to marry. It's more favorable from the material point of view to develop Krishna consciousness. You see, so Srila Prabhupada, he also had gay devotees. We don't designate people as gay or this or that. Devotee is a devotee. But materially speaking, yes, they had homosexual tendencies. It is a fact. We don't deny this. And Prabhupada engaged many of these devotees like that. And they were following this rule. They did not indulge in illicit sex. So we don't have any discrimination from this point of view. But if you ask me, is it okay to have homosexual relationship? When I say homosexual, I mean sexual, relationship. Then we say this is not good. It's not good because that sex life is simply for sensual pleasure. You see. So we don't encourage that. We don't condemn. If someone comes here, a homosexual person, and he's not following this principle, we're not gonna go on his case. And you have to stop this and so on, so on. No, the rules, these rules, are meant for people who want to take initiation, who want to become recognized officially as disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and they want to take part in this, process, puja, and there's some qualifications, that needs to be met, in the temple life, just for the organizational purposes. But everyone can chant Hare Krishna, offer his food stuff. As I said, whether you're following or not, you can always approach Krishna. He's always for you there. But yes, if we allow, I was actually speaking with Sanaji, that if we allow anyone and everyone to come and do everything, whatever, that's going to be chaos. You know, so there are some rules and regulations in this process that we have to uphold. It is not a discrimination, but this is what our spiritual master told us, you know, and we try to follow from that point of view. So if you ask me, is it okay to have homosexual relationship and get the initiation? No, that we cannot give, you know, but the initiation also is not all in all. You know, you can also chant Hare Krishna and, you know, serve in your own way and approach Krishna gradually and so on and so on. We don't condemn. So it is not good, but at the same time we don't discriminate. That's just how I would sum it up.
Because it's not good when everybody does it. Anyone. Not if it's like with a man or a woman with another woman. It's just in general, it's not okay for anyone.
The marriage, we say sex life is good in marriage. Why? It is also not for lust, sensual pleasures. It is, you know, I was explaining yesterday actually in a class, there's a Garbhadana Samskara, there's a ceremony. And the man and woman, they don't do this for lust purposes, let's, you know, enjoy together. They very consciously, they sit down and they chant many rounds, they purify the consciousness, and they engage in sex life with the idea that now we're going to give shelter to a devotee who was not perfect in his last life. You know, he's chanting, an old man, Hare Krishna, but he's not yet purified from all desires. So he leaves the body and he takes shelter of that environment you create with your wife. So it is scientific, you know. Of course, there is affection and so on, so on. It is natural. It's naturally there. And for those who are not yet able to refrain completely from sex life, the household life is recommended. But the homosexual relationship, that is, you know, that you cannot serve in that way. The sex life, yeah, this is different sex life.
But even in woman-man relationships, sometimes a man and woman, they do it for lust, which is also bad.
Same
bad.
thing, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, there's
Yeah,
no difference.
so
So it's not really about the homosexual.
No, that's why I said
it's about
there's no
sex.
discrimination. There's no discrimination. Oh, so what about Brahma Samhita? Read after? Alright. Okay, is this clear? I mean, we can discuss this.
Yeah.
It's a big topic, you know.
I have a little question.
Yes.
You said that when, like in ejaculation, it kills millions of souls or thousands of souls. So masturbation too is
Illicit sex.
illicit.
Yes.
I think it's even more
But
illicit because
for
there's no
women-
love and affection between nobody. You just play with yourself. There's no exchange there.
Yeah, please.
Yes, so I have a question about knowing that the material world is the place of suffering, and knowing that, you know, all souls potentially want to go to Krishna Loka if they follow Krishna consciousness, then wouldn't the process of bringing children into the material world bring them into suffering? Wouldn't it be better to not not have any children and just chant Hare Krishna, and then there wouldn't be anyone coming here? Because as soon as you bring a child here, then a soul is coming to duality, to the material world, and then they're gonna suffer.
Yes, but practically speaking, you yourself, you asked me, you know, a few months ago, you asked me, what about this Grihastha ashram? You asked many questions that you would like to pursue this path.
Yeah.
So this is not realistic.
Okay.
You know, it is, you know, rare people, they can do this. Just like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he was a Naishtika brahmachari. From the very beginning, he was a brahmachari until the end. So this is not possible for everyone. You know, majority of people, they want to engage in marital life and so on, so on. So,
But some people say that, you know,
Yeah.
because there's 7 billion people in the world, and homosexuality kind of developed and a way for nature to mitigate that, to have a kind of a solution for that, and also considering that.
but birth
you know,
you cannot stop. Birth you cannot stop. That is by karma.
okay.
right? If you're not perfect, you have to take birth. Krishna says, for one who dies, birth is certain. For one who's born, death is certain. You
But
cannot stop
eventually,
it.
would it be like in Satya Yoga that nobody would take birth anymore? That they would just not have children anymore?
Yeah, but there are other planets.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, we have to finish. I'm sorry. Well, we can discuss later. It's a good question. Grantara Chimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Mr. Parai, Krishna Vishtai, Murti Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta, Samini Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Guravani Viracharya Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Guru Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.